In the last two videos, we saw how to make the character sit and to create tables and chairs. Now, in this video, we're going to learn a new simulation element. Okay, as you can see here, we have in this new scene I've created. Okay, I'm using this background model, the sandbox one, the first one we saw, and I've created this situation here. Okay, we have this socializing area, we have these two tables with people chatting and conversating and so on. So what I want is how can I make characters from this floor get to this one? Well, someone would say, well, just model some stairs. Yes, that could be a nice solution, but it's a static one. Say that we have, for the reason of our project is being designed this way, we have here not static stairs, but escalators. So in that case, how we could solve this? Well, actually, the case is that Anima comes with an escalator tool. Okay, so we are going to learn how to use it. Okay, so we find it right below the path tool, and there it is. Okay, so left click on it. Okay, and then we enter the creation mode, and as you can see, we have this 3D cursor, let's say, and it's red. This cursor is red because something is not good. I mean, there is something wrong. Sorry, and this is because we haven't still. This is what he's asking Anima to us to do, to define a starting point. So just left click to define the starting point, and then drag. As you can see, this is a similar situation to the path, okay, where we have a sort of elastic line defined. In this case, we have defined the starting point, so we have the two platforms, the starting platform, the end platform, and all the steps of the escalator. At the moment is an horizontal escalator, and you would say, well, this is something strange. Well, actually, no, we have this. They exist. Okay, so at the moment what we need is to define the ending point. So if we try, you can see we have to be careful because this element reads also walls, and we don't want to create an ending point on a wall. Okay, this would be a problem. So we can go here, as you can see, then wait for the snap to be working, and then left click to confirm. Okay, and that's it. This is our escalator. Okay, now it's a bit strange. Alt E to center the selection. Okay, but as you can see, we have our bounding box, we have our manipulator, and then we have the new elements. We have, of course, the models, the ending platform, the starting platform, and the steps. But we also have this arrow, which tell us the direction towards which the escalator is moving. Okay, and then we have two spheres, two nodes in this case. The green one is the starting point, and the red one is the ending point. Okay, so very, very simple. This element is different from the socializing area, for example, because you can click on it to select it. This is exactly as the path. Okay, we have no icon, but at the same time we can select these nodes here, and as you probably understand, guess, these are movable. Actually, we can change the direction and the escalator will update immediately. Okay, so this situation here is, well, an example of it, but it's not the right example. We don't want the characters to be moving, crossing and overlapping the background model. Okay, so let's Control Z. Let's save always, but we can do is, for example, move this. Okay, so I can do this. So according to the position and locations of these two nodes, the inclination of the escalator will be set, will be defined. Very well. Now let's see something about the options. Okay, the properties. So we select the escalator tool, well, the escalator in this case, and in the properties panel on the right, we have, first of all, these buttons. Okay, we're going to talk about them in a moment, but before I want to talk about the escalator properties section. Well, the first option is something we already know, is the option that let us set a specific motion clip or a category of motion clips for the characters moving on this element. In this case is set to escalator category. Then we have the speed. Then this value is a bit tricky. because it's reversed. The higher the value, the lower is the speed, okay? Then the smaller is the speed value, the higher is the speed. Well, let's see how it works, okay? So here, hit spacebar, and this is the standard speed, 0.5 value, the default one. We select this, and we change it to, let's say, 0.25. We should double the speed. Let's see if it is so, and yes, it is. Okay, I sincerely prefer to leave it to 0.5. Usually is a good value. Okay, then we have the incline. The incline is actually the value in degrees of the inclination between the floor where the starting point is and the floor where the ending point is. And in this case is set to 0, and this could be a bit confusing, okay, misleading in general. Well, first of all, this option is the one controlled by these 4 buttons, which are actually presets of this option: 10, 15, 30, 35 degrees. Okay, so we could set, just by clicking here, directly a specific value. Okay, now when this value, the incline value, is set to 0, we are able to freely move the starting and ending point. Okay, but if, for example, we set this to 15 degrees inclination, okay, as you can see, problem comes. Because, well, actually when the escalator is red, as in the beginning when we were creating it, it means that there is something is not working. At the moment, the problem is the ending point. It does not have any surface. So when we define an incline value, specific one, different from 0, above 0 in this case, we are locking the inclination. So these nodes can move only until they can guarantee this inclination. Let's say I want to move this, and then I release. As you can see, it snaps directly here. Well, there. Because this way, this escalator inclination will be set to 15, will be guaranteed to be 15 degrees. Okay? So at the moment, what I will do is just to select it, set the incline to 0, and get this back. Okay, I will just something like this. Okay, just adjust it. That's it. Okay, this is very simple, really, not a problem. And then the last option is the width. The width, in this case, of the escalator. Okay, we have a minimum value of 600 millimeters, which means 60 centimeters, and a maximum value of 2000 millimeters, which means 2 meters. Okay, I will set this to 1.2 meters. This is the value in millimeters corresponding. Okay, that's it. Now this is fine and very nice, but what can I do to make characters go and use this escalator? Well, as you can see, we have no crowd section here, so we cannot generate characters on top of an escalator. And as you remember, even the path cannot generate characters on top of stairs. So this is something in common, okay? But before having a look how to make characters using this escalator, I think that we need one more. Why is that? Well, this escalator is for going up, but what about going down? So at the moment, what we are going to do? Well, very simple. We are going to copy this, but not using the clone option or Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, but we are going to use the manipulator as we saw in the previous video. So Shift key pressed, click and drag, and I will place it right here. So we can place it right parallel to the first one. But we still have the problem because we have 2 escalators exactly the same. Both will go upstairs. So with this escalator selected, we click on this button here and we reverse the direction. Very simple, straightforward. Okay? That's okay. So let's save it. Then hit escape to deselect. So here we have it. But what we need now is how we can have people using this? Well, we're going to use the path, okay? We're going to create a path, this case here, with the walkway tool, left click, and I will do something like this. Left click here, and then, as you can see, as soon as I go over the starting point of this escalator, Anima asks me, do you want to link this path to this escalator? As you can see, this chain icon appears, and I confirm by clicking with the left mouse button, okay? And that's it, and Anima continues the path on top of the surface, where the escalators ends. And I keep going, doing something like this, and doing the same here, okay? So left click, and I can continue here. And now right click to close the path. Well, not close, to end the path, okay? And that's it. As you can see, this is very, very interesting, okay? First of all, have a look here. We have this icon that means that the path has been set to only one direction. And this makes sense because the escalators have only one direction. We couldn't have this. So with the path selected, as it is now, we go to the path properties, the path direction mode, and we actually confirm that it's set to forward. Well, we could try to set it to both. If we try it, it doesn't work, okay? So just keep it in mind. Well, when we have a path linked to escalators, means that we cannot change anything of the path. Yes, we can, okay? We simply have to consider that these are linked. So, for example, at this moment I can do this, okay? I can even move this element here, and just changing the shape of the path, something like this, okay? And as you can see, the path is updating, always linked to these escalators. Same thing goes here, okay? I won't do this, it's quite clear, okay? So now we select the path, let's save it, and actor count, let's say 10, and we click generate, and there we have it. Now keep in mind always the same thing. We cannot ask Anima, well, we can, but we probably would have some issues. We can ask Anima to have a lot of people, a lot of characters on this path going up and down to onto the escalators. This could lead to collisions issues, okay? As always, Anima will try always to satisfy your needs, but you need to keep in mind that you have to give it space to do that, okay? So at the moment, spacebar, and there you have it, okay? Some of the characters will just go socializing, then going back to the path and using the escalators, okay? Very simple and very, very nice. So this is a typical situation where we can use multiple elements. Here we are using a path, escalators, socializing area, table. So as you can see, the more we go on, the more we can do and see the potential of this great tool, which is Anima. Okay. The last thing I want to well, yes, one thing is, what happens if I move the escalator like this? Nothing. The path follows. Okay, this is very useful. Imagine that you are working on a background model, okay, on a project on this area. So you had to change the position of one of the escalators, the distance. So you just re-import the model, which, by the way, we will see in a later video how to do this. And then you just have to move the escalator and the path will move itself. So you actually can update and not have to redo the entire work. Okay, so this is very interesting. And yes, the last thing I want to show you is how we can keep going with this. Let's say I want to create another escalator, in this case an horizontal one. Okay, so same thing, left click to start, left click to end. This escalator will be, well, let's say a bit wider. Okay, well, I will move this like here. Okay, and then what I can do is just to select this path, select the last node, and with the walkway tool keep going like this and like this and there. Okay, so here I can actually keep working and creating different situations. As you can see, spacebar, and these are working. Okay, so as you can see here, this is another example of how anima can be flexible and powerful at the same time. Okay, so with this video we stop here. We will see in the next one.